Hello everyone, it's Todd Screama, CEO of Summit Funding. And I wanted to share with you today, I get a lot of questions around, hey, why did you start Summit Funding and what is that all about? I would tell you that I watched a video by a gentleman named Simon Sinek about a year ago, and he does a beautiful job of explaining why people use companies. And it really hit me like a ton of bricks, not knowing what we had created here. What he talks about is, hey, why are people so attracted to Apple computers? What is it that's different about that company as opposed to a lot of companies that make computers? And that's a great video if you want to watch that on YouTube, Simon Sinek video. For me personally, it started out as, I started out of college and I started doing home loans. And I say this and it sounds like I'm bashing my industry. I really saw a lot of loan officers and mortgage banks they really treated the borrower they were very aloof, and they were very, hey, maybe I'll get you a home loan and things like that, you know, as if the employee had the money to lend them personally. And it was very offensive to me, and I thought, you know, the client deserves more respect, and the whole process that a client goes through is kind of crazy. And then as I matured in the business, I got to know a lot of home builders and a lot of realtors, and that's where I got all my business from, and still today that's where we get a lot of our business from. And from their perspective, they have all these questions like, you know, you guys are supposed to be some big finance company, and why do we do it this way, and how come I don't get updates, and how come you don't tell me when there's problems? And there's all of this dysfunction that really happens within mortgage companies as they front face to their borrowers and the people who refer to business, the realtors. And then thirdly, when you get to the employees, I looked at the business, and again, this is maybe 10 years into my career, I look at it and say, you know, what the heck's going on here? I mean, mortgage companies just hire a bunch of people and work them 80 hours a week, and then as soon as it slows down, they lay off half of them, and then we repeat the cycle over and over again forever, it seems like. And I just thought, well, how are you ever going to have a great company if people don't ever work there long enough to build relationships and buy into the company culture? How can you have company culture if you're just hiring people and then laying them off 2 months later when you get slow? And those three short stories is why I started Summit. It's really what fuels us. And when you look at our business plan and it says, why do we exist? And it says to change people's lives. At the heart of all that, it's, I want the borrower to have a better experience. You know, it's one of the most honoring things that they do in their lives is to buy a house. For the realtors and builders, you know, why do we have all this dysfunction? And what I discovered is that the mortgage banks, they just don't do a good job of it. First of all, I think most mortgage banks focus on the wrong client and they just do refis. There's nothing wrong with refinances, but you know, really, I don't think they treat the referral accounts, the builders and the realtors with respect because they don't ever deal with them long enough, and they have all these skewed ideas of what those people think about them. So there's, how do we get rid of that dysfunction? And then from the employee side, how do we get a group of people that just work massively well together? And how do you take all three of those segments, all three clients, and how do you really change their lives? And a lot of it, what I've learned, has to do with love. And what I mean, I know it's a word that sounds weird in the business world, but at the end of the day, there's two emotions. There's fear and there's love. And when you come at it as from a loving perspective and say, you know what, I want that realtor to get more referrals, and so I'm going to do such a great job for them because I love them, I care about them. When we feel that way about the single mom who's buying a house with her 2 kids, and we do it out of love, not hey, I'm a big bad banker and going to make you feel bad for getting a home loan, but we really say, gosh, you know, tell me about the house. This is so exciting. Man, I'm proud of you. You saved, you know, your dimes for 5 years and you finally got enough for down payment. You know, let's celebrate that. And then on the employee side, you know, let's treat people like people and let's have a great culture. And so a lot of times when people come into my organization, they're like, wow, how do you do this? You know, everyone's so happy. And yes, there are a lot of things that we do, but at the end of the day, it's just treating people with some love and some respect that I think everyone deserves. So when you look at the why, I can get much more detailed for you. At the end of the day, we want to run a very loving company and do that in such a way that it changes people's lives and they have a totally different experience than other people experience historically in our industry. So, guys, thanks for listening to me talk about the why. I hope that makes some sense. And thank you for your business. We very much appreciate it. It's everything to us. Thank you.